Hi, welcome to The Knowledge. Today we're here to talk about the economic recession. We are joined by David Boyle from the New Economic Foundation to talk about how the recession will affect young people. We're here with David Boyle, a fellow at the New Economic Foundation. Can I just start by thanking you for joining us, David?
Thank you very much.
Could you tell us a bit about the projects which the NEF have been involved in?
Well, we've been going about 20 years now, and we grew out of when the G7 summit came to London in 1984, and there was a sort of group of Greens, futurists, and sort of social activists who came together and wanted to challenge their right to speak for the economic future of the Earth. And so they held a conference called the Other Economic Summit. And out of that came the New Economics Foundation and a number of other things as well.
Is it fair to blame anyone for the current situation we're in?
Well, I mean, it's a difficult question, isn't it? Because I mean, you can certainly blame bad decisions by the banks, but equally, then you would also need to blame the credit rating agencies who allowed them to get into that situation, and the regulators who allowed it, and the politicians who encouraged it, and all of us in some way who are plugged into the financial system have some aspects of responsibility for it, I think. So, you know, you can point the finger at some people being responsible, but you can't exclude everybody from being responsible, I think. There is a sense of, you know, I mean, the economy is based on greed, and in those circumstances, it's bound to go wrong every so often, and it does seem to go wrong at least every 10 years.
So would you say that this recession is different to any of the ones which occurred in the 80s or the 90s?
Well, it's much more fundamental. I mean, much more. There is much more at stake, and in that respect, it's different. It's different also because it is happening at the same time as other kind of. We have a credit crunch, but we also have a kind of crisis about the climate, and we have an energy crisis. We're not quite sure where the energy is going to come from, and those three. Climate, energy and credit, I mean those three are all linked. And I think that's a different way of looking at it than we had before. In other ways though, of course, it's exactly the same as recessions always are. They're based on, when they're based on, you know, collapse of a financial bubble, they're always exactly the same. That people always cheer this bubble as it grows. They say that you know, there is a whole new era in finance, that we've ended boom and bust, as Gordon Brown said, and it's never true.
So how would you say, in your personal opinion, that it will affect the lives of young people?
Well, it's very hard to predict, because we don't know quite how far this is all going to go and how much it's going to unravel. But, I mean, it's clearly going to affect them in terms of whether or not the money is around to achieve their dreams. And that they will be struggling more for the kind of job and the kind of work they want. There are going to be less opportunities for them. There are going to be fewer people available to lend them money. And the institutions around them will be in crisis. And their parents are going to be in difficulties. And their chances of getting on the housing ladder is going to be that much more difficult. And so all those things are going to come together to affect them. You can't be entirely negative about what's going on, although it's going to cause a great deal of pain. I hope that it gives us the opportunity to create a better kind of government and a better kind of economy, which in the long run is better for everybody. But it remains to be seen whether we're going to achieve that.
So I hope you're now more cleared up about the economic recession. If you're interested in the New Economic Foundation, or you want to know more about the recession, you can visit neweconomics.org. Alternatively, if you want to write into us, you can visit www.catch21.co.uk.